Hi, this is Trisha from Lemon Paper Lab. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a diagonal stripe pattern made up of multiple colors. To start out with, we are going to go ahead and create a new file. So click on New File. For this tutorial, we are going to use the dimensions of 200 pixels by 200 pixels. I'm going to have artboards unselected, resolution set to 300 pixels per inch, color mode is RGB color, and then background content set to transparent. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Create. Zooming in on my canvas, Command or Control with the plus key here. I'm going to access the line tool. So under the shapes here, you can right click to find the line tool. Coming to the bottom corner here, I'm going to hold Shift and click, and then just dragging it up to the top corner there. And then we are going to look at our properties here. So we have, we're going to change our fill to no fill. Stroke, we are going to add a black stroke. And then we're looking at the stroke width here. I'm going to raise that up to 40 pixels. Make it a little bit thicker there. Coming back to my layers panel, I want to make sure this diagonal line is centered, so I'm just going to use one of my actions here. I do sell this action pack in my Etsy shop, and I will leave a link in the description below. And then I also have a tutorial on how to create these actions as well. So I'm going to click this action here and just make sure it's centered. I'm just going to go ahead and just convert this to a smart object right here, and then we are going to duplicate it, Command or Control J. And then we are going to use the offset filter. So we're going to go to Filter, Other, Offset. Because we want it in the corner here, we're going to use the offset of half the dimension of our canvas here. So in this case, we are going to go negative 100 pixels backwards, and then going up vertically is a negative 100 pixels. So we'll go ahead and click on OK there. We'll go ahead and duplicate this layer, Command or Control J, and then we'll click into our offset, and then we are going to go the other direction. So we will go 100 pixels horizontally and then 100 pixels vertically to fill in our other corner here. And then next we are going to define this pattern. Again, I have a Photoshop action for this, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Define Pattern, and then we see our new pattern here. To define your pattern, you'll go to Edit, Define Pattern, just for your reference there as well. Now that we have created our simple stripe pattern, we're going to open another document. So I'm going to go File, New. This time we are going to create a new document. For our stripes, I'm going to use 3 different colors. So we are going to increase this value by a factor of 3. So we are going to go 600 pixels by 600 pixels. We'll keep the other document settings the same and then just click Create. And then I'm going to add a pattern adjustment layer here. We'll hit the drop down here and just select the most recent pattern and then just click on OK there. From here, I'm going to go ahead and just rasterize this layer, and then we'll right click just to delete this layer mask so we just have it with our pattern here. Next, I'm going to use the lasso tool here, and then I'm going to just draw a area around this center diagonal. And then in the upper corner here, you want to make sure you have this second icon selected where you can add to your selection. And then we are going to draw around the corners. And then I'll do it again for this top corner here. And then I'm going to access the marquee tool, so M on the keyboard. And then we're going to right click, and then we're going to go Layer via Cut. And as you can see, we have a new layer created here. I'm going to select our original pattern layer. We're going to use that lasso tool again, and then we are going to select another diagonal. And then we want to find the matching one, which will be here, and then we'll draw around this diagonal, connecting it there using our marquee tool, M on the keyboard. We will right click. And then we're going to go Layer via Cut. And now we have 3 different layers here. With this top layer here, we are now going to add a solid color adjustment layer. And then I'm just going to select one of my colors here from my swatch panel, and then I'm going to create a clipping mask. You can do that by right-clicking on that layer and selecting Create Clipping Mask, or you can hover between the two layers. Option click for Mac users, Alt click for PC, and then you can create that clipping mask there. As you can see, it's added color to this stripe. We'll do the same thing, solid color adjustment layer. I'm going to select another one of my colors here, creating that clipping mask, Option or Alt click, and then we'll do it one more time, adding a solid color adjustment layer. We'll select another color here, Option or Alt click to create our clipping mask. And then we can add a solid color adjustment layer. Let's select white, FFF, clicking OK, and then we will position that behind. So now we have our basic repeating pattern as a swatch. And so you could create your pattern at a swatch level here and then just define this as a pattern. Or another option, I'm going to go ahead and turn off all the colors here, and then we are going to turn off everything else except for this top pattern layer. And then I'm going to go ahead and define this one as a pattern. We will turn that one off, and then we'll turn on this second one. I'll go ahead and define that one as a pattern as well. We'll go ahead and turn that one off, and then we'll do it again for the third one, define that pattern. So we have 3 new patterns created here. And then let's go ahead and test these patterns. So let's go File, New. This time I'm going to use the dimensions of digital scrapbook paper, 3600 pixels by 3600 pixels. We'll select artboards this time, resolution set to 300 pixels per inch, color mode is RGB color, and then we'll just leave our background content set to transparent. And then I'm going to click Create. From here, I'm going to use one of my actions, just a pattern test action, which basically brings up a color fill layer, a pattern fill layer, and then another color fill layer. And then I'm going to, let's bring up our original pattern. So we have our basic pattern here where you can have one color. But this time we are going to create it for the 3 different colors. So I'm going to highlight these 2 layers, Command and Control J to duplicate, Command and Control J to duplicate again. And then we'll select our first layer here, select our second one, and then we'll select our third one. And we still have the same image because we haven't changed our colors yet. So let's go ahead and add some colors here, just selecting from my swatch panel. And then we have our 3 different colors here. So when creating your diagonal stripe patterns using multiple colors, you could either do it like we did before when we come back into this, where we had turning all these layers back on, where you can control the different colors at a swatch level, or you could create the 3 different patterns and then control the colors at more of a digital paper level with a document like this. And then to export this, again, you'll just go to File, Export, Export As. Under File Settings, you can choose your file type. In this case, I'm going to do JPEG. And then for digital scrapbook paper, generally you want a high quality level, so you can bring up your quality here. And then just scrolling down, I just like to click Embed Color Profile, and then you can click to export. Thank you for watching this video on how to create a diagonal stripe pattern with multiple colored stripes. If you like this tutorial, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. In this tutorial, I used my Photoshop actions that you can check out in my Etsy shop. Thank you for watching this video. This is Trisha from Lemon Paper Lab. See you next time.